Once again here on the show and from Community Services of Charlotte County. And when I got your email, I kind of went, he takes care of parking meters too? I was kind of shocked.
Why?
Well, just because, I know it's the boat ramps and beaches, which is under your realm, but at the same time, I would think somebody else would take care of parking meters instead of you overseeing the whole shebang.
Well, it's, the thing about how Parks and Rec, years ago, back in I want to say, it goes back to around '89, I think, when the board first started charging for parking, and back at Port Charlotte Beach, we had the standalone, the old-fashioned
Kiosk.
parking meters. No, the old-fashioned ones where you put the quarter in, and the only people that were available to collect them was the recreation staff. So it became part of our normal operations. The recreation staff would collect the funds, and of course the money was going back into the general fund to offset some of the costs for maintaining the beaches. Is the way the ordinance was written. So it just made a natural fit for us to, we were already out there, our headquarters was at Port Charlotte Beach at one time, and of course we had the beach, Inglewood Beach as well. So, over the years, it's just kind of been part of the department, just one more thing that we take care of.
One of the biggest questions you get about the beaches, I know, is no lifeguards.
Yes.
And the reason why is?
Quite frankly, cost. It's expensive, and once you start doing it, you actually open up a can of liability for the county by providing it. So there's, it's one of those things, double-edged sword. You want to do it because you want to provide safety. On the other hand, you have to look at the liability side and what are the potential downfalls, for an incident happening because you didn't properly guard, or someone says, that whole incident that happened over on the East Coast last month, with the guard, and those are actually contracted guards.
Right.
So
the one that got fired for saving the guy outside the lines.
Exactly, and that's the kind of stuff that we're trying to avoid.
And here's my other question, which I don't know the answer to, and have we ever had a drowning in any of the Charlotte County beaches?
To my knowledge, no.
Yeah,
I know out at Stump Pass a few years ago.
There was one back in Ski Alley, I think. The
exactly.
Ski Alley, and behind there. But all right, with the new park meters, I was quite thrilled when we went out to Inglewood Beach a couple of weeks ago. There were no park meters, and I parked for free. I was kind of excited about that.
But did you read the sign?
No, I did because.
How did you know there was no parking?
Because the red tape was all over them.
Yeah, they had the yellow tape along the.
Yeah.
I was out there last weekend. Yeah, don't pay.
But there are signs that say free parking until the new meters are installed.
Exactly right.
Yes. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I knew that because you told me they were coming.
Yes.
Plus, I did a wedding at Port Charlotte Beach Complex, and they weren't there as well, so it was good. Now, but at Port Charlotte Beach Complex, when somebody rents that facility, I know, especially when we have the lobster bake out there, you get parking passes. You get
Right. And that's, it doesn't make sense to rent a facility like that to someone and then, for a wedding or a fundraiser or whatever, and then, charge
double dip
people.
them,
Yeah, double dip them. And so they're already paying a rental fee, and we include the parking as the rental fee.
Now, with the beach complex and Englewood Beach, are there other beaches that we control as Charlotte County?
No, actually, that's it. Port Charlotte Beach and Inglewood Beach, and we have a maintenance agreement with the state for the Stump Pass State Park.
Okay. Because Boca Grande beaches are state.
State.
One of them state.
And Lee County.
And Lee County.
Yeah.
So that's out there. Let's take a phone call. Good morning. You're on. Thanks for calling. And with that, we've got a lot of it comes with what's going on. Now, your new parking meters, why did they decide to go to new parking meters?
Well, the ones that we had there were average around 12 years old, 10 to 12 years old. So old technology, they kind of refer to them as iron horses, because they're really good, sturdy meters. However, the manufacturer informed us that they weren't going to be making parts anymore. We were struggling to get parts. And actually the manufacturer was overseas, I want to say France. So it was difficult to get parts to a certain degree as it was.
Okay.
And as most people that frequent the beaches and the boat ramps, they probably realize that the meters were starting to be down more often than they were up.
Yep.
And we started cannibalizing because of the lack of parts. We started taking parts out of other meters and slowly closing down some of them. So like Hathaway Park hasn't had a parking meter up there for probably a year or so, because that was one of the first ones.
Okay.
That we started, we pulled that machine out and started taking the parts off of it in order to keep the other ones going.
Well, Mike, aren't they going to aren't they gonna stick with the regular paper system? You put your money in and the little tab comes out and you put it on your dashboard?
However, you don't need cash anymore, Tommy.
Well, and actually, it's a little different now. You don't have to put the receipt inside your dashboard either.
Oh,
How
really?
come?
Well, the way the new system works is age of computers. So the way it'll work is parking enforcement will actually log into our system, and they'll be able to see who's paid and who hasn't paid.
Oh, really?
How?
Because all of the parking spaces are numbered now.
Oh, okay.
So the new way, you pull into the space, a numbered space,
So you're gonna pull in this space first, get your number.
get your number, you walk up to the parking kiosk, it's gonna ask you what your space number is, you put it in, you pay for the amount of time that you want, you have to use exact change, and this is where the credit card part comes in, or you can use your credit card.
Can you use a debit card as well?
Yeah, debit
Okay.
card, as long as it's Visa, MasterCard.
Okay.
Okay, Visa or MasterCard. And you get your space and the ticket comes out. Now, on your ticket there's going to be a code. So let's say you're having a good time, you want to stay longer at the beach.
Right.
You just call the phone number, punch in the number that's on your ticket, and then you extend your time.
You don't even have to leave the beach.
That's right.
Well, assuming, of course, that you have a cell phone.
Correct. I mean,
Right.
that assumes that you have a cell phone. And also that you can either call the number or you can download the app. And
Oh.
the app is Park Now. And they have an app for either Apple or Android.
Unbelievable.
And you set up your account, you put $10 on it or whatever, and then whenever you need to extend your time, you just log into the app and tell them where you're at and what parking space is, and you just extend your time.
Okay, so this precludes us from dropping someone off at the parking station, putting the money in and getting the ticket, because you need to know your parking number.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, you can still drop them off, you just have to get your parking number and,
Call them on a cell phone that
Yeah,
you're
it's-
re-upping the time.
sure.
Now, can you, I'm sure that when you call in, it'll ask you for your parking space number too, so you're gonna be able to re-up your time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So actually, here's what you could do.
Well, actually, let me rephrase that.
Okay,
Because when you get your receipt, there's going to be a code on it.
Okay.
So when you call the phone number, it's
You'll
going to
have
ask you for the code. You punch
okay.
in the code,
Okay.
and then you extend your time that way.
I can see the gleam in your eye, Hippo. You're trying to find a way to beat the system.
No. I was trying to find a way to not beat the system, Tommy, but to go to your parking space, because some of them are a long ways from the kiosk,
Yes.
and being able to call that number,
Oh, well, actually, if you have the Park Now app,
you can do that.
if you have the app,
See?
you can just use the app. So when you pull into the space, you say what space you're in, what
How
lot-
long you wanna stay.
what lot you're in, what the space number is, and how long you're going to stay, and it'll just take it off your account.
See?
It's amazing. Yeah, that's a good system.
Good morning.